Hi, my name is Cynthia and this is my friend.
Hi, I'm Alyssa.
We're here with Love Crafts today to teach you how to make two types of friendship bracelets. Have you made friendship bracelets before?
I used to make them when I was younger and I gave them to all of my friends, but in the last couple of years I think I've forgotten how to make a few of them.
So this is a really good tutorial to go through each steps clearly and slowly, just to make sure that you remember all these little accessories that you used to make when you were a child.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a great way to work through all the yarn stash that you have lying around the house, all the material, thread, floss that you have, you know, mixing up all the colors and playing around with that and just creating something to share with all your friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you like this video, please feel free to comment and share and subscribe over here.
And let's get started.
Great.
So what we do first is take the chosen thread or yarn and we cut out around 40 inches in length. So that's about 100 centimeters. The reason we do it for so long is you never know how much you need, and just in case, like, the more the better. So the first step is to tie a knot so you could start the pattern of the bracelet. And to do that, I'd say leave about 5 to 6 inches. So that's 13 to 16 centimeters. So it's about here. And we just tie a knot. What this also does is we can then use the knot to sort of secure the bracelet in place while we're working with it.
Cool.
So we take the little blue tack that we have, take the pin, and we just pin it down like that. Perfect. And so for this bracelet, which gives you the spiral effect, what you're doing is you're going to take the string that is on the left side and you're going to essentially wrap it around the other two strings. So to do this, you place the left thread almost like a 4 on top of the other two strings, and you take the end of that and you just bring it underneath and you loop it through. And then you just pull the pink or your blue thread all the way to the top and tighten it. And then you've got one knot. And then you just repeat the same thing. And I'd say about 15 times is a good amount to do.
Okay.
And the next thing is you just determine which is the next color. So for me, I'm going to use the purple here.
Use the blue.
Nice.
The lighter blue.
And you just repeat the same thing. And again, you place it on the left first.
Yeah.
And then you place it like a 4 over the other two string. And then you loop the end through. And again, you then pull it up to the top tightly. And just repeat the exact step. Cool, so once you've done, just need to tie another knot at the end for all 3 threads together.
Okay.
We're going to make a little something called a sliding knot clasp.
Okay.
What this does is it's secured, but you can still adjust the size of it to put it on.
Exciting. Okay.
So to make a sliding knot clasp, what we'll do is, first of all, taking the length that we left at the beginning, and we're going to tie a knot really close to the end. Just pull the knot as close to the end as you can and just really, really tighten it. Perfect. And then now taking the length of thread that we've just worked on, create a circle by laying over the other end of the bracelet. And what you do is you're going to place your finger above the thread that you're going to loop around. And then you're going to loop around the knotted length, around the finger as well as the thread 2 times. What this does, it then create a space for you. Yeah, that's perfect. Once you've looped through the length around the thread and your finger twice, you're going to thread this end through the loop this direction to the left. So the finger placement there helps to leave enough space and gap in the thread for you to do so. So all you do is just push the knot through like that. And then take your finger out and then just pull on the length where you were making the loop from. Making sure that this little clasp isn't going over the 2 knots that are sort of like determining the beginning and the end of the pattern. And so the final step is on the length of the thread where you haven't tied a knot at the end, tie one now. And now what you have is a little friendship bracelet where you can adjust this, so you can put this on when it's bigger, and then all you need to do is just pull on the thread and it goes smaller. So this is a Chevron pattern, and I've chose to use 4 colors for this, but you could use 3 and then it will be a bit thinner, or you could use 5, a bit wider. The Chevron is created by you essentially knotting along the thread that is laid out in front of you. So to start off with, Alyssa has got 4 colors, and make sure you have 2 strands of each color, so then you can lay them out later on and they mirror each other like so. So now just need to tie a knot around 15 centimeters from the top, which is about 6 inches. Perfect. And then we just pin that into the blue tack. So this is the part at the beginning that could be a little bit fiddly, is to lay out the yarn in the order that you want them to be. Okay. So always making sure you have the same yarn on the furthest out and then work your way in. I've started mine already because I thought it will be easier to show you what the pattern is going to look like as we work through this. So first step, what you do is you take the furthest left strand and you're just going to wrap this around the strand directly next to it. Okay. So for you, it's around the blue, and for me, it's around the green. And you do the same thing where it's like a number 4, you lay it over and you thread through the loop. And you tie a knot tightly and all the way to the top. Perfect, and you're going to do it again. So every time you tie around one color, you make sure you do 2 knots. So now essentially your left has been worked on, so you can move that out of the way. And the the next color you're going to work on, for me, is my yellow. So now you're going to tie the same color around the next strand it's next to. So for both of us, it's the yellow one. And again, remember to knot it twice. And once you've done that, again, move that second color out of the way, and then you're going to work on the third and final color for us. If you have 5 strands, or 10 in that sense, then you still have another one to go after this. And again, knotting that 2 times. Also, it's really important to remember to pull on the strand that you're knotting around, because if you don't do that, sometimes that strand might end up being the one that gets looped around. But yeah, so you want to always make sure the strand being looped around is pulled tightly. Okay, now that color is done, and you're going to leave the color that you've been working on in the middle.
Okay.
And then you're going to do the same on the other side. So again, you're going to take the most right color that you've been working on, and you're going to do a mirrored 4 around the thread next to it. So you're going to place it like that, over and under. So this helps if you have a lot of space around, because you need to quite clearly see where the strands are, and you need all the space you can to space them out so you're not confusing yourself. So once you've done 2 knots, you can then place that strand out of the way, and then again working your way through to the center. And because you're sort of working your way down each color separately, as you've seen, because the knots takes up quite a lot of space, more than the loop, on the other bracelet, it spirals itself. For this, to make spaces, then it essentially make the chevron the arrow shape.
Okay.
Once you've done the 3rd strand, and you have both strands that were originally on the furthest outside and it's now in the middle, what you want to do is you want to do 2 knots with just these 2. So you're going to work with the left strand first.
Okay.
Loop it around the way you've been doing it around all the other colors.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take the right strand.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do the exact same and loop it around. So this just makes it more balanced. Once it's in the middle, it doesn't really matter if you can't remember which one was originally on the right and which was originally on the left, so long as you've got the 2 knots in there.
Great.
And now what you do is you take the next color that is on the furthest outside, and you do the exact same thing. So now you could just repeat this all the way to the end until the desired length is achieved with this pattern. Always remember to knot twice on each color, and then you just keep going. So what I'm going to do now is finish off with the bracelet. And what I've done is I've taken the outer thread, which is the green at that point, and I've sort of tied it around 2. The reason I've done this is I didn't want to end with an arrow, and I want it to be more flat when I end it. Like that. So what I'll do now is tie a knot at the end of this. Bring all the thread through This looks quite short, but actually, once you place it around, it's quite a good length across like that. So now we're going to do the sliding knot clasp on this bracelet as well. And again, to do this, what I'll actually do is tie a knot first at the end of the length of yarn we left untouched at the beginning. As close to the end as possible. I'll give this a trim afterwards, and the same on the other side. So I think I'll make it similar length, and just here, and I'll tie a knot like that. So in terms of the knot itself, because you can only control it from one side, so it will be good to sort of just mentally mark where that knot should be. So around here, so around that much straight left. And now what I'm going to do is, holding the longer length with my right hand, going to bring the shorter length over, and where originally I made the mark where the knot should be, or how much bracelet I should leave for it to fit snugly around my wrist. Place my thumb over it to keep it from being too fiddly, and then I'm going to wrap the shorter length of the yarn twice around my index finger and also the longer length of the yarn. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this end through both of these loops from right to left. Quite a tight fit, so I'm just going to take my index finger out and use the knot to guide me to bring this through, like so. And all I'm going to do is just pull on this knot like that. And now what I have is a knot that I can adjust by pulling on the longer side of the thread. So what you could do is you could try on, pull this, see where it's good, and then determine how much of this thread you want to leave. So actually where I originally tied the knot is quite long, so I'm going to just cut it around here, and then I'm going to carefully take this off and just tie another knot at the end here. That's a little Chevron bracelet.
Yay.
Hope you've enjoyed this beginner tutorial on how to make your own friendship bracelets.
And if you really enjoyed the video, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss another video.
See you again!
Bye!